You are becoming, it says in Kabbalah, you are becoming one soul unto that chuppah. That's what's going on there. And marriage is oneness. You're supposed to live your marriage as one. And in eternity, which is a different talk on soul in the afterlife, but in eternity, who do you spend eternity with? So no one ever died to come back to tell us, but I'll tell you what our tradition says. It says you have a certain relationship with your parents, a certain relationship with your kids, but the person you really spend eternity with is your spouse. Because you're one. In eternity, you're a soul. Your soul's eternal, your body's temporary. Your soul never dies. And in eternity, you spend it with your spouse. Now, when I have a whole bunch of married, that's eternity. So when I have a bunch of married couples in front of me, at that point in my talk, some people look happy. Some people don't. Okay? They really don't. I remember after I learned this, I learned this in Israel from our Rabbi Noach Weinberg, who's the head of JHAH in Jerusalem. And I came back to Toronto, and I remember saying to my friend Sandy, I said, Sandy, I just learned you spend eternity with your husband, right? You spend eternity. And she said, my kids, I'm not with my kids. And she had a very good marriage, but she was distressed. And I said, Sandy, it makes so much sense to me. You give and you give. And you give to your children, and you're a success as a parent if your children do what? They grow up and leave you. If they're 35 and living in your basement, something went wrong. All right? You give to them so they'll leave. You hope they come for the Seder, or they pick up the phone once in a while, maybe live in the same city, but really, your success is they become independent and leave you. But you give, and you give, and you give to your spouse, and you're only a success in your marriage if they come closer to you. If you grow apart, something went wrong. Yeah? So marriage is oneness. And you have to live your marriage like that, as one. You know, you always hear this whole thing, marriage is partnership, marriage is partnership, marriage is partnership. Marriage is not a partnership according to the Torah. My husband always says, you know, people in business, anybody ever have a business partner? Anybody have a business partner they're not talking to anymore? So this is how it works in partnership in business. I got the know-how, you got the capital, we're going to make a partnership, and, you know, I know what I want out of it, you know what you want out of it. But after a while, I got some capital, and now you got some know-how, so we can dissolve the partnership. So marriage is not a partnership. Marriage is a merger. What's the difference? A merger, it's not my thing and your thing. It's our thing. It's our thing. We're one. This whole partnership thing, like, you know, this, you read in the art, you know, in the magazines that used to be 50-50, the housework. Okay, so I'm going to do the dishes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're going to do them Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. But Friday we had a lot of guests, so you really owe me. Like, there's all this, like, hello, you have something you want to achieve, and sometimes I'm picking up the slack, and sometimes my husband's picking up the slack. Because we're in this together. We're one. We want to achieve something together. So marriage is oneness. Love. What is love? I'll tell you, I used to start off my talk with what is love and then what is marriage, right? Love, marriage, baby carriage. But then I realized after I gave it a few times, no. Doesn't make any sense. Anybody here who's married, when you go to a wedding now, and the bride and groom get up, and they talk about how much they love each other, right? They love each other, right? And you're sitting there, you and your husband like, yeah, right. They know love, right? Yeah, they know what love is. They planned a whole wedding together. Wow, right? They don't know what love is. They have an inkling. I can't compare the love I have for my husband now to the love I had on my wedding day. That was a joke. We hadn't been through anything together. Really, we hadn't been to think about it. Like, you can't compare the love. So let's define what love is. The Torah defines it in 3 different ways. First definition.